Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Beach Babe Intuition. My name is Emily. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returning viewer. I am sleepy this morning, y'all. I got some decent sleep, but I'm staying with a friend of mine, and she'd gone out, and I fell asleep on, while she was gone, and then when she got back, we stayed up and talked a little bit, so I'm a little tired. Plus, it's Sunday morning, and Sunday mornings are about just relaxing, just get up, maybe have a wake and bake session, which I just did, and then maybe have some yummy breakfast, just chill, All right, so I'm using my cute ghost deck again. I was going to pull out another deck, the Light Seer deck, but my suitcase was in my friend's room and she's asleep, and I didn't want to dig through it and risk waking her up. So maybe I'll do another video later after everybody wakes up. So I apologize if you watched yesterday's video. It got cut off. I think my phone overheated or something and stopped recording. So I'll have to make sure I keep an eye on that. I am out here in direct sunlight, so I'm trying to put my phone in the shade a little bit. You can see there's some shade from so we'll see. I think maybe it happened once the sun got above the railing. So hopefully we keep going this time. But you know what? I'm not the only one that's been having issues with. Yesterday I was watching another reader, and he had said he had to keep checking his computer to make sure it didn't shut off. So I think there might be some hinky forces at play with trying to keep us quiet, so we're not going to let that happen. All right, so Yuki's hair in my deck. Let's see what's going on. I've already called in the ancestors, meditated on the card a little bit. Okay, what flipped? The Queen of Blades. The Queen of Blades came out yesterday. So the Queen of Blades, she's in her power, and now she can see the bullshit, right? She can see the bullshit, and she uses her sword to cut through the bullshit, right? She's cool, calm, collected, just in her own power. All right. Okay, so what do we need to know about the Queen of Blades? Oh, that flipped, but it didn't stay, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it. Seven of Blades. The card wanted to come out, I think, but I'm not. I'm not really vibing with the Seven of Blades. Come on, what do I need to know about this card, y'all? I want to say there's been a betrayal. Somebody stealing your swords. Stole 5 of the 7 swords. But I was just channeling, just trying to connect with the card, and all of a sudden I hear, "Be mindful of your thoughts, Luke. They can betray you." From Star Wars, because I'm a big Star Wars nerd. So, yeah. Be careful of your thoughts, because they can betray you. And that makes sense, because in the next card is the Eight of Blades, and that is a mental prison. So, beware your thoughts, Luke. I mean, Star Wars was great when I was a kid, but now that I am spiritually awakened, holy shit, there's so many lessons in that movie, you know? I was trying to explain true spirituality to someone, and they are as well, like, big Star Wars nerds, and I was like, it's like Star Wars, like, I mean, just watch Star Wars and it will explain everything. So if you have a hard time with the woo-woo and you think some of us are too hippy-dippy, which, I mean, to each their own, I was in that same spot as well, because I'm not, like, I got a little bit of darkness, you know? I swear a lot. I listen to metal. I smoke. I'm not, like, what a lot of people would think of as a spiritual leader. But in that thought, there needs to be a variety of us, right? So we all find someone to vibe with. So I just tell people, like, you know, if they don't dig my vibe, you know, how I am, like, go watch Star Wars, because if you're kind of nerdy and that's your thing anyway, it's gonna resonate to you. So yeah, watch Star Wars, y'all. Ooh, I got hair in my mouth. Okay. All right, what else do we need to know? Okay. One. Let's see what else. Fate. This is the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. And that's where we're at. You know, I was explaining to my friend that, you know, we're in the time where we don't know where we're going to be, because it hasn't been created yet. You know, we're creating everything. We've been living in, well, the Matrix. Basically, if you want to know how to get out of the Matrix, watch the Matrix. It is a documentary. It's not fiction. You know, you got to take the red pill. But let me tell you, if you take the red pill, there's no going back. So, you know, we're creating it. We had a system set up that, yes, you could create your life within that system. You can manifest, you could create what you wanted within that system. But with that being said, there were only, like, you lived within their constraints. Sorry about that, y'all. Just there. So, but now the Matrix is coming down. The Matrix is falling apart. And so now we have to create a new world, you know? I mean, we were headed to George Orwell's 1984. You know, we got a taste of it for 5 years. You know, we got a taste, and that was not nearly as bad as a dystopian society would have been. I mean, we just got a teeny weeny little taste of dystopia, right? So that had to happen. People had to see, like, man, this shit can get bad. Like, this can get, if this little bit is this miserable, what would a whole world like this be? What if everything was dystopian, you know? So that woke some people up. And unfortunately, like I said, it did have to happen. It did have to happen. So, but again, be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of your thoughts. They determine your fate. Ooh. Be mindful of your thoughts. They determine your fate. Ooh, that one hit, didn't it? Wow. Holy shit balls. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no. Oh, that's new. Oh. 10 of Blades. He's done. Stick a fork in him. He's done. ultimate betrayal. Usually this guy has all of the swords sticking out of his back. But he's done. He's done. And I get this vibe of, because, you know, swords are thoughts. I get this feeling of he's done. He's had it. He's had it with all of these thoughts that are keeping him down, that are causing negativity in his life. He's done. He's had it. He's cooked. This doesn't have to be it. This is, to me, I'm reading a betrayal of thoughts. His thoughts are betraying him, right? Be mindful of your thoughts, Luke. They can betray you. You know, wasn't that when Luke was going to meet his father, and he had to keep his mind, he had to keep control of his mind because his father could read his mind? I'm such a nerd. I don't care. It's fun. Life is supposed to be fun. I mean, yes, we learn lessons by suffering. That is the lesson. It's how you, because, you know, I tell people all the time, sometimes I say things to people and it comes across mean. Like, I sound very mean, but it is actually, sometimes I feel like you have to shock somebody or piss somebody off or hurt their feelings. It's a trigger, right? It's a trigger. You have to trigger them. And then, you know, you hurt their feelings, or they're mad about it or whatever. And then they start to think about it. You know, they're ruminating, they're stewing, they're like, you know, just pacing and mad and going, can you believe she said that, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually they're like, oh shit. And it happens to me. You know, it's called tough love. It happens to me. And I don't, you know, I'm Capricorn rising, so we just kind of cut through the shit. And it's not been, I mean, listen, if I really wanted to rip you apart and make you feel bad about yourself with my words, you know it. I hold my tongue very much. I choose to be a nice person. And that's why I had a hard time kind of stepping into my gifts, because I know that I could go a different way with that. And I probably have in a past life at some point in time. I'm sure one of my lives was to play the bad guy. Like I said, you know, right or wrong, we come here to experience the duality of the earth. So if nobody comes here to do the bad stuff, how do we experience the bad stuff? You know, somebody has to play the villain, right? Somebody has to play the villain in this movie. And I got a message, I don't know, a week or two ago. Yeah, about 3 weeks now. And it said, don't be afraid to be the villain in somebody else's story. And so, yeah, if I'm the villain in your story, that's your problem, not mine. Apparently I was supposed to be. And I have been for no reason, because people just don't like me because they can't handle my energy. Okay, 9 of Blades. He is letting, well, I don't know if he's letting, but his thoughts have defeated him. He's on his way to the 10 of Blades. So just keep getting the overall message of, because I keep getting blades after blades after blades, and you just have to be mindful. Like, you really have to change your mindset. Oh, okay. Yep. Sorry, my foot's going to sleep. Last night when my friend went to bed, she was starting to say, she's like, oh, I'm getting sick. I'm like, no, you're not. She's like, oh, but my nose. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, if you sit there and say, I'm getting sick, hey, guess what? You're going to get sick. But if you're like, yeah, I'll be fine when I wake up in the morning. You'll be fine when you wake up in the morning. So, oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So far. Yeah. Make sure you're using this sword and to cut through these bullshit, you know? Like, all of this. Use your sword. interesting. Okay, we've got a little bit different message today, because the messages all, like, the past couple of days have just been about self-love. Even no matter how it starts, it always ends up on self-love. Okay. Let's see what else. What else do I need to know? Really? Really? Nothing's gonna jump? You guys are being lazy today? Maybe we're gonna do a shorter video today. Alright. Maybe this is the message today. Typically I channel long messages. But I feel like this is it. This is it. Just be, you know, you gotta be mindful. You gotta change your mindset. You gotta change your perspective. And that was in the message yesterday. The Hanged Man came out. You gotta change perspective. You gotta be mindful of those thoughts. Yeah. Because all of those blades, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like the high number of blades. The lower numbers in the blades aren't so bad. Like, you know, 2 of blades, like those aren't so, well, 3 of swords kind of sucks because that's a broken heart. Okay, I think the blades, you suck. But, yeah. Yeah, it's all about being mindful of your thoughts today. That's just all, like, every time I try to connect and hear what they're telling you, because I don't really hear, I'm not clairaudient as much. I mean, I have all the clairs. Everybody has all the clairs, right? Everybody has all the clairs. But some people are they have some clairs that are stronger than others. Like, I'm mostly claircognizant. I just know things. 99% of the time when I get some kind of message, it's just a download straight into my brain. And my friend asked me, she's like, how do you know? I'm like, I just know. And she's like, but how do you know? I'm like, I just know. I can't tell you how I know. And typically later on, somewhere down the road, I'll get some kind of, like, an article or a video or something will clarify or confirm what I knew. But I just know things. Now, I do hear a voice every once in a while, and yes, I do have voices in my head. We all do. Well, actually, my dad never did. I said, you know how when, you know, that chatter in your brain, and he's like, no. I'm like, really? What's that like, to not have that constant chatter going in your brain, you know? Ooh, I have cinnamon vanilla coffee this morning, y'all. It is so good. So good. Anyway, so I will hear, it's when a very special message needs to come through. Like one time, my grandfather was getting ready to pass away, and they had called the ambulance for him. My father and I went over, and first of all, I have squirrel animal guides. So they had a walnut tree, and the squirrel was in the tree, and it threw a shell at me, a nut shell, and then when I looked up, it just started chattering at me, like going crazy. And I didn't think anything about it, because the squirrels were kind of jerks. They were always doing shit like that, you know? So I went into the house and was standing there with my father, and my grandmother came back in, and she grabbed my grandfather's shoes and said, he's going to need these when he gets out of the hospital. And all of that chatter stopped. All of it. And I just heard a voice say, he's not going to need them. And he died 3 days later. So I do hear a voice once in a while. And it has presented itself to me twice, again, since then. Still don't know who it is. It doesn't really matter. I listen. I've learned to listen to that voice. I always listen to my intuition. But I was like, what about this? Who's, like, am I crazy? What's going on? But I always listen to the voice. I always listen to the voice. But I'm mostly claircognizant. I do have visions too. Typically the visions that I see are, I'm able to see when people and animals transition. I'm able to see them on the other side sometimes, especially like I saw my dad's transition celebration. So I can see things, but I'm mostly claircognizant. That's what I was trying to get to when, you know, sometimes I ramble. Okay, so let's check the Oracle deck. Let's see what this has to say, and then, you know, we'll cut it off. Maybe that's the point, you know. The whole point is just, you know, you gotta watch those thoughts. Okay, let's see what the Oracle deck, and this is the I Don't Care Oracle deck. Since I've started filming, these are the only decks I use, but I'm gonna pull out the other decks today. So... Alright, let's see what's going on. Okay. Alright. What do we need to know out of this deck, y'all? One. Don't take it personally. Okay. Okay. All right. And I can see how this applies for sure, Don't let what other people think or say affect your thoughts. Cut through the bullshit. Here, right? Use your sword. Don't take it personally. And I know that's hard. I know it's hard to not take, especially if somebody is just lashing out at you. Like, you know, I have situations, and I know I'm not at fault. I know I didn't do anything, but it still irks my nerves that somebody is even putting that shit on me, you know? But that's the thing. They are projecting. They are putting that shit on you. So don't take it personally. If you know that whatever this is about, whatever these thoughts are, whatever it may be, if you know that you did nothing wrong, you didn't do it, and you don't deserve what's coming at you, then don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. Just tell them to fuck off, you know? Just tell them to fuck off. Like, I'm sorry you feel that way, but it's not my problem. That's a you problem, not a me problem, you know? I wouldn't mind helping you with the situation, whatever it may be, but don't put your shit on me. Don't put that shit on me. Not my circus, not my monkeys. What else? Don't feel guilty. Whatever it is, don't feel guilty. Don't take it personally. See? See? Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so I'm getting, like, the tarot cards are telling me the problem, and the oracle cards are telling me the solutions. I like that. Ooh, thank you for this. Ooh, cupcakes, yummy. So, don't worry about it. If you know in your heart of hearts that you are not at fault, you didn't do anything, don't carry it around. Guilt is going to put you in this 9 of blades, okay? It's going to bring you to this 10 of blades if you keep letting other people's shit control your thoughts. Don't let other people's shit control your thoughts. Use your sword. Cut them down. Don't let other people's thoughts in your head, you know? All right. And then we got no obligation to take advice from others. You're not obligated. See, look, You notice the psychic in the background with the with the crystal ball. This tells me, you have no obligation to take advice from me, but this tells me just be careful. Be careful whose advice you take in this situation, you know? All right, let's see what else. I really like this deck, this oracle deck. It's cute. And I haven't, sometimes I sit down and kind of go through and look at the cards, and I haven't done that yet. So I'm just as, you know, when you guys see them for the first time, sometimes so am I. So, all right, what else do we need to know about this situation? What other solutions, what other advice do y'all have? I mean, I got like a strong ass spirit team, so if they're telling you stuff, I would listen. Okay. Again, look at these. I mean, look at this. These are nasty thoughts, you know? And I mean, I don't know. So people are addicted to drama, okay? Because a lot of times without drama, whatever kind of drama it is, whether it's a soap opera or just gossiping or whatever, their life is really fucking boring. They have nothing else to do except cause drama. So I'm really seeing, like, just, you have to stay away. You have to stay away from these negative thoughts. You really have to use this sword. Like, just be wielding your sword all the time. Don't be afraid. Don't feel guilty about cutting people out. Don't feel guilty about cutting people out. Don't do it. Don't take it personally. Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. If it's making you feel like this, and it's making you feel like this, nope. Bye. Bye. Box with a pillow. I like this one because I like to kickbox. So, you know, maybe if you're, okay. Get those thoughts out, you know? Go, I mean, you don't have to box. This I love because I like that release that I get after, you know, because it makes everything more clear, you know? It clears my head, my body feels good, my energy's flowing. Like, I really do love a good kickboxing session. So, yeah. Use that, you know, use some kind of exercise to clear this out of your head, you know? All right, let's see. I feel like we're getting to the end right now. But let's see if there's any more oracle cards that want to come out. Oh, okay. I didn't even start shuffling. Oh, okay. Memories comfort us. So, again, thoughts, right? Memories are thoughts. So maybe, you know, maybe just think about the good things that have happened in your life. You know, if you're in a mindset, if you're in the 10 of Blades, if you're in the 9 of Blades, just go to your happy place. You know, think about, like, you know, the things you used to do when you were a kid that, you know, just made you happy. And who knows, maybe go do them again. You know, if you like to ride your bike as a kid, like I used to ride my bike for hours at a time because I always liked to move. I was always one of those kids, I like to move. I think I like the experience of the human body moving. Probably why I was given ADHD. Because I always like to be moving. I used to get up at 5 o'clock with my dad, and while he was getting ready for work, I would do aerobics. Not because I needed to. I was like 5 years old. I didn't need to exercise. I was a little kid. But I just thought it was fun. So, think about your memories, the good memories of your life. Think about the good things, you know? All right. Let's see. I feel like maybe one more. I don't know. Since that one came out so fast. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Sometimes the cards won't jump if I'm actually looking at the deck, so I have to close my eyes or look away or something. So, okay, nope, I think that's it. All right, guys, so today's lesson, from the reading is you really just need to be mindful of your thoughts, you know? This is all about, I mean, look, memories are, you know, are thoughts. You know, stay out of these negative mindsets, you know, the guilt, the drama. You know, don't feel obligated to anybody about anything. It's not just about taking advice. Don't feel obligated to anybody. You don't owe anybody anything. Right? And just don't take it personally. Just cut through the shit with your sword, right? Don't let these negative thoughts, these negative energies send you, you know, into this, man. Don't do that. Just whatever you have to do, just even if it's just boxing, you know, exercise, clear out those stagnant energies, those thoughts, and think good thoughts. Just anything, you know. All right, guys. Well, that's the message for today. So I hope you enjoyed it.